Welcome back to another shitty video, my disciples that you watch for some reason. This is Warfare Messiah. Now roll that shit.
What is going on, guys? Warfare Messiah here, and today we're going to be taking out the Lancaster, one of my actual favourite bombers in the game. I know there's a little bit of controversy when it comes to the Avro Lancaster as to whether it's good, as to whether it's bad, because I think it's safe to say the defensive armament on this aircraft, for the fact it's a battle rating 5.7, is absolutely atrocious. It's got 4 7.7s in the tail gun, 2 7.7s in the ball gun, and 2 in the front. So if that's someone on your 6 o'clock, you've got 6 7.7 shooting at them. That is the same armament as a Hawker Hurricane, my friends. So, not the best. However, what I have noticed with the Lancaster is a lot of people don't agree with this, but I actually find my Lancaster to be quite durable. It can take some punishment. So disagree with me or not? I find mine takes punishment. I know a lot of people find, but it's like a sack of flying paper. But I disagree. I think it's quite a durable aircraft compared to other bombers. I think people don't give it a break. Right. So what this durability actually allows you to do is, a lot of people underestimate the Lancaster, like fighters, and they just fly straight at it. So here's a word of advice, guys. If you're in a fighter and you come across an Avro Lancaster, don't think, free kill, let's go for him. It's not always, as you'll see later in this video, because a lot of the time people just fly straight at you. And really what you need to be dodging and weaving, because they're not the best armament in the world, but they're still an armament, you know, they still fire bullets and they can still destroy aircraft. So when people fly straight at me, this is how I get the majority of my kills in the Lancaster, is people underestimate me, they fly straight at me, and I just put a really long round in, like a really long burst, and I set their engine on fire, I shoot the pilot, their wing falls off, you know how it works, because they just fly straight at us. Now, I know I'm screwed when a fighter's dodging and weaving, he's coming up and down and round in circles, and like going up and down, side to side, dodging and weaving, because it's harder to hit him, and he's getting those crucial bursts in on me with these more powerful cannons. And normally I find when the Lancaster's taken out, it's usually by its elevators and tail getting shot out, because its tail's quite a weak point. However, I think the Lancaster is durable, and its payload is enormous. I use 14 1000s, which you've just seen there, and that can take out all 3 bases, and you've got some bombs left to drop on the main airfield, guys. It is not to be trifled with. So let's just drop these 4 bombs per base. So bombs away now. There we go. Now, I might have said now a bit funny, because I'm actually recording this after I've played this game. But I am working on a longer project for you guys, so I was kind of wanting to fill the gap, because I like doing regular uploads, and there's a video. It's not a particularly long video, but it's a one that's taking a long time to make, which will be coming out shortly. So keep your eye out. It's going to be called 6 Year Slog. So there's the base just taken out there. We're going to the second one with the Lancaster's enormous payload. We'll take this out. So I'm just cycling all the views. I don't actually have, I haven't set in my controls certain views, so I have to toggle through all the views, which I'm sure you've probably noticed. So I've opened my bomb bay there now. Now, a friendly American bomber has strafed this base, but as it is an American bomber, it didn't quite have the payload to take it out. I, however, am in a British bomber, and well, the British bombers have enormous payloads. So it'll just take one to finish this one off. I was kind of taking a risk because I thought maybe it might take two, but I just dropped one. So there goes one. I was pretty certain the one would do it. So the one goes. Now I wait for it to go down, and now that was the last base. So I'm banking right and doing a full loop to hit the enemy airfield. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to hit the airfield lengthways. You don't want to hit the airfield horizontal. If you hit the airfield horizontal, well, you'll get the base damage, but you have less of a chance of hitting aircraft on the airfield. Now, I know it's unlikely if you hit it lengthways as well, but it's more likely is my point. So, it's a bit of a flight from now, so I'll fast forward a tad, and I'll see. Now, you might have noticed that the audio ended a bit abruptly there. That's because my brother came running upstairs, all frantic, and my mum had managed to get bleach in her eye, so I had to wash all that out. It took forever, and she's been taken up to the eye infirmary, and it's been a right pain, but it's sorted out now. So I've just dropped the rest of my payload on this base, and we're heading back home. However, the journey back home is quite treacherous, as the skies are littered with Focke-Wulf 190s, and I think at this point me and the B-17 are the only Allied aircraft left. And well, I don't know if you'd realised, but they aren't exactly the air superiority fighters of World War II, are they now? Right, okay, so I've inspected my damage. I think I've missed a few bombs, because normally it would do more damage than that. I had 9 bombs to drop on the base, and so that's 9,000 pounds of bombs. And it didn't do that much damage, so I think I missed some bombs, but that's understandable with all the cloud cover. So I just throttle down, put the nose down, and head for home. And that is when the trouble begins. Alright, okay, so here I am, about halfway home, admiring my aircraft, and BAM! I just see a Focke-Wulf straight down. He doesn't actually attack me. I'm very surprised. So I try to open up on him, try being the primary word, and I get a better sight on him, get a few hits there. And what is most surprising is he doesn't actually have a username of his aircraft. And I thought, I've never seen AI fighters attacking bombers before in the Ruhr campaign on this, so I was very surprised. But in all honesty, if it was a player, this aircraft seems too good for AI and too bad to be a player. So I try to engage him with the 7.7s, and that is when I notice there's a second one, and I think, shit. So I try to engage him as well. I think, well, I know these are AI, and it would be pretty embarrassing getting killed by AI. However, they do have pretty badass cannons, and well, as you can see, they're scoring hits, which is a revelation, a new, unseen phenomenon even, for AI vehicles in War Thunder. So I critted that aircraft, it pulled off. I was half expecting the other one to carry on the attack, and well, as quickly as it begun, everything just disappears, and the sky goes calm. And I start to drop my altitude again, and I throttle down because my engine's starting to burn. My engine 1's starting to overheat. And later on I messaged the B-17 because we've been communicating like where the enemies are, and I big myself up a bit and say I just survived a Focke-Wulf attack. Little does he know they were actually AI. So what do you think? Was that just some glitch and they were actually players, or were they AI? I'm pretty sure they were AI. But I guess they were the best AI I've ever seen in game, so I continue on my journey back to the home base, ready to rearm. And those are not the first fighter aircraft I come up against. Okay, so I've now dropped below the cloud cover. I'm still too high altitude to land straight off, so I have to go past the airfield and double back, and that is when this fucking wolf decides to attack me. He was in a perfect position to either attack me or the B-17. And we were discussing earlier how the Lancaster had a bit of a poorer armament than most bombers of this level. So he attacks me instead. And this one is not AI. This dude is definitely a player. He's really good. His name tag's there. So he comes in for a burst, and he goes straight under me, and he ducks and he weaves, and so he does exactly what I said the Lancaster cannot handle. So I'm getting a bit cautious here. So I actually fire a bit prematurely because I realise he's about to come in behind the arc. I can't turn my nose gun anymore, and that is when he gets the perfect shot where he could have killed me, but he missed and presented a perfect target of his pilot for my tailgun Charlie, or Jimmy as I call him. And I take his pilot down. But now he has got a few hits on my engines, and my fuselage is quite damaged, and I still have to land this baby. So I drop my altitude and I double back and I head towards the airfield. So I'm left troubled at this point. My engines are choking, they're dying, and because of the low sun, I can't actually see the airfield on the ground. I have to scan around for a bit before I actually eventually notice it. I use the map to guide me in, but that is not the first of my problems. The first of my problems is I'm going too fast and I'm too high, and I can't afford to make a second run because my poor Lancaster can't make it. So I've got my landing gear down, my landing flaps, and as you can see, approaching too high altitude and too fast. So I've got to drop the nose, and I know this is going to gain me speed, but I have no choice. So I drop the nose, hoping that for a miracle, in all honesty, I decide to wave the plane a bit to try and slow it down. I know this is going to be a very hard landing to make. I slowly approach the airfield, and I actually, at this moment, realise my wings can't actually take the shaking because I start to tip to one side. And this becomes very problematic when I actually hit the airfield because I struggle to keep one wing up. My right wing keeps dipping because it has a lot of bullet holes in. So I'm actually approaching the airfield, and it's so unpredictable what is going to happen right now. I can just hope for the best, and I do make one of the best moves I can possibly make, and I level off and nose up right before the airfield. And I think that is what ended up this not being a total disaster. The tail hits the ground, the gear comes off, it's a really hard landing on the tail, and then I thought I was going to land like that, and BAM! For no reason whatsoever, the tail decides to snap off after surviving that hit. So I land without a tail, but the rest of my crew are okay. I have 2 minutes to repair, so I'm like, oh my god, I can actually repair my aircraft. This is amazing. So sorry guys. I start the repair for 2 minutes, and the B-17 gets shot down, and of course it's classed me as having crashed, and it says Allied team has lost all of its players and we were defeated, but a good try and an honourable effort it was. So, first on the scoreboard, thanks to my trusty Lancaster, unfortunately, another grueling defeat, a grueling defeat when we did quite well, which was a shame, but never mind. Alright, thanks for watching guys, keep an eye out for my next video on War Thunder 6 Year Slog. This is Warfare Messiah, I'll see you next time.